I wish to salute all the representatives from the national and the county governments led by Dr. Marsha and members of the board, fathers and mothers of faith, archbishops, bishops, pastors, reverends, house of clergy, our dear imams, sheikhs, and the Muslim brothers, representative of the Nairobi, Kiambu, Lower Eastern, and the Ma community, faith-based communities and community-based organizations, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Bwana asifiwe. Bwana asifiwe tena. Assalamu alaikum. Hosea chapter 4 verse 6 says, "My people are destroyed from lack of knowledge, and because you have rejected knowledge, I also reject you as my priests. Because you have ignored the law of your God, I also will ignore your children." Today we gather to be able to stand together and be able to gain knowledge. Knowledge on very serious crisis or an epidemic that is in Kenya that is affecting our children, our boy children mainly. We are told that the boy child is in trouble. If you can speak to the other person, you know I'm a pastor. Tell them our boy children are in total and absolute trouble. According to what I have heard, they are the most neglected. Yet they are the seed carrier, they are the heads of households, they are the fathers, they are the leaders, they are the economic drivers, they are the security keepers, and yet we are told they are the most neglected. They are the ones who are now found in what we are calling moral decadence. In terms of morality, our boy children are rating very low. When it comes to education, we are told they are dropping out, and their low education is also bringing us a problem. As we have heard, God says, for lack of knowledge, and if they don't go to school and they are educated, it means we have young men and boys who do not have what it takes to be able to honor, to respect, and to be able to function in a society or in the community. And this one, it does not matter which community, whether they are white or black, whether they are Christians, they are Hindus or Muslim, they are behaving the same. When also it comes to crime and gender-based violence and radicalization, the boys are rating very high. When it comes also now to diseases like HIV and other diseases like hepatitis B, we are told our boy children are leading. It comes to unemployment, frustration, depression, alcohol abuse, and addiction. We find again the boy child is in the lead. And because of the depression, frustration, and all these things and circumstances that are surrounding our boy children, we have had to bury very many. And this is very sad. Extremely sad. Because you go to the universities, you have taken your children to the university, you have paid, and you have sold all your cattle, your land, so that they may go and gain knowledge. And the next thing that comes to your doorstep is a casket, after they have committed suicide, and that is what you get. We went to the University of Nairobi this year, and when we were talking to them, sadly, 55 had committed suicide, and in 1 year. This is something that we must start to think about and to work together as a community. The death of a boy is death of a community. When they die like that, and you find them everywhere in the streets, most of them frustrated and depressed, and they are everywhere. You see them, they have become a commonplace that we are no longer getting sensitive, and our hearts are not moved when you see them there, dirty and looking lost, hopeless, and the only next thing is the grave. We must change, and we must turn this tide, or we lose a generation. I am therefore excited today, fathers of faith and the leaders from across sectors, on a common agenda geared towards the good of the humanity and the greater good of our communities. Thank you for coming to discuss this weighty issue affecting our country. This agenda is dear to my heart, and I thank you once again for taking your time to be here. It is indeed a great honor. Allow me to express my heartfelt gratitude for your warm acceptance to collaborate with us on the matter of the well-being of the boy child. The clergy, members, and parents, I must say thank you very much. For the Bible says, train up a child in the way he should go. Even when he is old, he will not depart from it. That is Proverbs 22, verse 6. And I believe that when I go across every religion, I find that the clergy in the Muslim, they have madrasas for their children. We have Sunday school for our children. And I'm very sure even the Hindus and every other community and religion knows how to deal with the children. But there is something that is happening, because I wonder, why is it at this time and in this season, our children are going wayward? I think it is time we start redirecting their destiny and give them hope again. Distinguished leaders, lately, I have had the privilege of engaging with a wide range of individuals, each coming from different walks of life. Among them are those who lack a place to call home, and those are my boy children. When I stand here as a mother, I am appealing to every one of you and to everyone who will be watching this. It is time to change the course. It is time to redirect the destiny of our boy children. It cannot go on beyond here. If we go beyond here, we have no communities, we have no nation, we have no church, we have no mosque, we have no temples, we will have nothing. And history will judge us ever so harshly. Others come from homesteads that have been profoundly affected by struggles of their children falling into the clutches of substance abuse, alcoholism, various disorders, criminal activities, and even radicalization. These encounters have solidified my belief and of the urgency of shedding our apprehension and openly discussing and addressing the challenges faced by the young boys and men in Kenya. Dear leaders, we must roll our sleeves now and get to work for a shared prosperity, which is the tomorrow of our children. It is no longer tenable to sit and watch as we lose an entire generation. The future of our youth, that is, our boys, is in our hands. History, as I have said, will judge us harshly if we do nothing for the boy child now. It is time. And I believe it is the season that every one of us who has been called by God to stand and be counted when we turn the lives and destinies of our children around. I have had the privilege of engaging with various experts who have provided me with insightful statistics concerning the circumstances faced by boys and men in critical areas such as HIV, criminalization, and substance abuse. Through this interaction, I have come to understand that our country, right now, the numbers are standing very grave. And you can imagine 1 in 5 Kenyans is involved in drug and substance abuse. Men and boys make up a substantial number in these statistics, that is 89% of the estimated 26,673 individuals who engage in drug injections in Kenya. We must reimagine the world we are living in. More girls than boys transit to secondary school education. That is 77.4 of boys transit compared to 79.5 of girls. This creates a societal imbalance which we must sort out right away. And we shall do this by addressing the root cause. Approximately 51% of the reported cases involving neglected children pertain to boys. A staggering 87% of all inmates in Kenya prisons are men and boys. This must ring a bell even to the most sleepy member of our society. We must reimagine our conversation on the boy child now. It is time to take action. Dear friends, oftentimes societal expectations and peer pressure lead boys to link their masculinity with having multiple sexual partners. Increasingly, their susceptibility to diseases like HIV and sexual transmitted infections in Kenya have shown that this is what is causing many. So we must change our ways to prevent such kind of loss of life for boys in their early ages. I call on action for a united clergy in power and solidarity. We can do something, however small. Let us put action to our faith and save the boy child. I believe we can because we are people, and now it is the time to do so. There is always an appointed time for people to act and to stop being passive, and I believe the time is now. Fellow religious leaders, ladies and gentlemen, finally, this gathering serves as an invitation to unite with the Dorcas Rigathi Foundation in a noble endeavor to initiate a social movement that will reclaim and revive the dignity of our boy child. Together, let us embark on this journey to create a brighter, more promising future for them. Thank you very much for your commitment, dedication, and for this vital and divine, noble, divine cause. God bless you and God honor you. And when we look, and I see that men and women of God, you can see the time you came. I believe you already know it is the appointed time. Amen. And when an appointed time, the ones who are there, the ones who stand, and we must save our children. Amen. It was Sivira and Pua who decided that the boy children will live in Egypt. It was Jochebed and the daughter of Pharaoh, together with Miriam, that decided the boy child who was to deliver our nation was to be saved. Every time the satanic agenda is to destroy the boy child, who is also the seed carrier. Last night, I was watching from the northern Kenya, men who are frustrated, women at KTN, they were talking about these drugs that are coming from the Ethiopian border and entering into our country. And because our children now are injecting themselves up there are cases of rape, deaths, and they are wondering even what God has given us, gold, it is no longer anything that those people want to have around. They are calling it the gold of death. Because when they get the money, they buy those drugs, inject themselves, they rape women, they rape children, and they kill the men around there. And I think it is time. It is us to change this course. We don't need anybody from anywhere to come and change the course of the African child. We must do it, and we must do it now, not tomorrow. We must do it now, collectively as a society. And that's why we are all united as one to do it. And may Jehovah God help us in this cause. And I believe that every mother, you have a responsibility as I have. We are accountable to God because we were called the mother of all that is living. Our work is to make sure the big boys and the small boys coexist and they don't kill one another. And we have the power to do it. So I'm also talking to you, young people. I'm your mother. And I said I love the boy children so much that I want to have a conversation with you. My office is an open door policy. Those who know, they come to me. And what we are saying, we are ready to listen to you. That silence and that deafening silence that is causing you to kill yourselves, we don't want to hear it again. We want you to speak to us. The church, as you can see, it is ready to listen to you. The mosques are open, and the teachers there are waiting to hear what you have to say, and we have a conversation. We are not your enemies. We are your friends. As mothers, we are your friends. As pastors, as imams, as sheikhs, we are your friends. Perhaps it is only we made an error. And I'm saying this. As a mother, I say sorry to every young person whom we have hurt. And we want you to open to us. We don't want to bury our children. We want you to grow up. We want to see you have families. And we want to see you walking tall with great destinies. So I am here for you. I will stand with you. And I will speak on your behalf. You have seen I've been trying. And I'll continue. There are several things that we also have to agree, that you also have to whistle-blow on the big boys who are selling you these drugs. The ones who are making you drug vendors, please, let us know who they are. We also have other big boys in our houses. We will use them to make sure the other big boys are behind bars.